All right, 7th through 8th grade, welcome back from Christmas break. This semester, instead of doing Sniglets and Shakespeare and Proverbs at the beginning, we're going to jump right into our topic. So this semester, we're going to do a research paper. Some of you may have done this before, some of you haven't, but my plan is to hold your hand all the way through. But that is our big project, and every week we're going to chip away at it. So today we're going to start with choosing a topic, gathering information, primary sources, and secondary sources. So first of all, when you choose a topic for this research paper, I want you to pick something that you are interested in, number one, because you want it to be something that you're going to enjoy reading a whole lot about, okay? You're going to spend, well, we'll talk about this in a second, but you're going to spend a lot of time on this topic. Number two, I want you to pick something that has at least two sides, two opinions, two teams per se. Like, it could be something fairly neutral, but controversial is the word I'm looking for. Something that maybe even with your friends or with your parents' friends, you hear people discussing their opinions on it. Some people are for it, some people are against it. Some people like it, some people don't. Some people think it will hurt our country, our community. Some people think it won't. So it could be the annexation of Canada. It could be the renaming of the Gulf of Mexico. It could be something big that affects our country that's in the news. Or it could be something a little more close to home, like a certain kind of food or ingredient that you might think is good or harmful, or how much should we regulate a certain thing. It could be something that is fairly, maybe you could say it's mildly controversial, like how much time should a high schooler spend in the sun every day? Something that we all know is beneficial, but the debate would be on how much time. So pick something you're interested in. If you're interested in health, in technology, in politics, in history, could even be looking back in history and interpreting whether or not something was good or not, or what was the cause of something. So when you choose a topic, though, you need to pick something you're interested in. You need to pick something that has two sides, and you need to pick something that has plenty of opportunity to read about it, plenty of information out there. So don't pick something so obscure, so difficult that when you go to read about it, you're not going to find anything. This would be a great time to talk to your parents, talk to other adults in your life, other neighbors, former teachers. You can talk to your friends as well, but take some time. Do not rush this. Now, I say that even though I'd like you to start honing in by next week, but you do not have to have an absolute 100% narrowed down topic by next week. Because what I'd like you to do as part of your homework is brainstorm. Now, if you don't remember what a brainstorm is, you can look back at the videos that I posted this week for the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th graders, and I review what a brainstorm is. But take some time to create your own brainstorm and just brainstorm on topic ideas that you might be interested in, and see if a pattern emerges. See if a theme jumps out at you. Maybe there's an area that just keeps popping up. Brainstorming isn't a way of narrowing it down to a single topic, but it is a good way to get your juices flowing. So the next thing I want to talk about is gathering information. Now, when you gather information, you want to gather widely. You want to make sure that your arms are wide open and you're gathering way more than you need. I like to think of it as a 90-10. You're gathering, in your gathering, 90% of this information, the reading that you do, will in the end be something that you don't even use in your paper. And 10% maybe is what you actually quote or cite. But the 90% still is incredibly beneficial because it gives you a full three-dimensional picture. It gives the context for the area or the topic that you're looking at. So it is beneficial even if you're not directly using it. You want to have conversations, but once you start narrowing your topic down, you want to check out books at the library. You want to read articles online. You want to make sure that in all of your gathering, you gather from a wide variety. You're not just getting all of your articles from Wikipedia or all of your information from one website. That would make your information biased and not very reliable. So one of the great places to look, and I'm going to show you here if I can do it without messing up too much, is I'm going to show you there is a database called Google Scholar. See if I can pull it up here. This is my favorite online place to find articles. This is a little different from just Googling something. This gives you actual published articles. Many of them are scientific. You notice there's a case law option here too. So you can go here, and if you're, let's say we're going to talk about the benefits of vitamin D. Well, you have articles that come up that are published by legitimate resources, not just a blogger online. So this is a good, safe place. Now, you still have to always read with discernment, with your antenna up. Just because something is published by an academic institution or the government definitely does not make it correct. We're not assessing whether it's right or wrong. We're assessing whether it has been peer-reviewed, supported with data and research, etc., because that is something that differentiates these kinds of articles from just Wikipedia, where any person can go on and edit Wikipedia. And it's important to remember, I'll just click on one of these real quick to let you just see the difference. So these are actual articles that have been published typically in like a magazine or here, this one's the Alternative Medicine Review. So would be like going to your library and actually looking through journals, medical journals, abstracts, etc. So this is a great place to look. Okay. Also, I'm going to go back to my notes here. So when you're gathering information, make sure your articles are Look at Google Scholar. Actually go in person to the library and check out books on your topic. Again, you might skim through a book and set it aside and say this one is junk, but it's still good to put your hands on resources, especially if they show up on lists. Let me pull this up and see if I can demonstrate this as well. Oftentimes at the end of a journal article, I'm going to scroll to the end, they will show you their own resources. And you can often find other good articles by looking at the end. Let's see here. Where does this list begin? Right here. In his references, notice that this author has, this is impressive. We're getting there to the end. This author has 206 resources. That means he read 206 different resources. And in his article, though, he's not going to quote every single one of them. So you might read the article, and this gets to my next point about primary and secondary sources. When you're reading other people's research. Sometimes they, inside that article, will reference another article. Never quote someone else's quotation of another article. That would be a secondary source. Go to the original source, which we call the primary source, straight from the horse's mouth. So a lot of times there will be a definitive article or book that several people reference. Those are ones that you need to actually look at and form your own opinion about, and not just depend upon someone else's eyes. So let's see if we can figure out if he references. So in here, you'll see these little numbers. I can't circle this one right here, but down in the bottom right corner where I'm wiggling, it says 151, right near the 70, age 70, 151. So he's referencing at that point his article under 151. So if you go down here to 151, it gives you the article, Standing Committee on the Scientific Evaluation of Dietary Reference Intakes, Food and Nutrition Board, Institute of Medicine. Dietary reference intakes for calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, vitamin D, and fluoride. Washington, D.C., the National Academies Press. So in this case, you think, I'd like to read that article. Well, now you have the information to go find that article. So make sure that you're reading widely. And as you do, keep a list, all right? Keep a list of whatever your eyes look at. Even if you don't cite it, quote it, just keep a list of what you pick up, touch, or read, even what you skim, just what you click on. Keep a running list. Because in the end, and in a few weeks, we're going to talk about keeping a works cited or a bibliography, and what the difference is between those. So that is all I want you to do this week, is begin reading. Brainstorm about a topic, okay? And begin reading widely. Try not to make your view, don't start off with a bias. Now, in the end, you're going to come to your own conclusion, and that's okay, but don't start off with a conclusion about your topic. You may be surprised by what you read. Go and gather information. Go to good places like Google Scholar. If you have not learned how to find books in a library, this is what you do this week. Go to the library. Ask the librarian not where the books are on your topic, but ask her, can you show me how to use the Dewey Decimal System in your computer system to find books that I want to find? That is a skill you will need in college, and this is the week to do it. Plan a couple hours to drive there and do this. Carve it out of your day. And then in the end, hopefully by next week, you'll have at least an area, maybe not a specific thesis, but a general area that you want to do research in. So enjoy your week. I hope this was interesting for you. I hope you learned something. You can always come back. Your homework for next week. Here we go. Have a narrowed down topic or field of study, narrowed field of study. 2, I want you to take a picture of your brainstorm page. I guess I should probably switch these two, because you're going to brainstorm before you narrow your field of study. 3, if you haven't ever gone to the library and done this, go to the library. Don't do all of your resources online. And then number 4, I really should have made this 4, right? I'm going backwards here. So brainstorm, go to the library, narrow your field of study, and then begin reading. All right. How neat is that? Not very neat. This is what your brainstorm page is gonna look like. So I'm gonna change up my numbers here, help you out. First thing you do, sit down, get a piece of paper, and make a really messy but helpful brainstorm page. Then number 2, go to the library, find some books on your general topic. Well, let's do this. Brainstorm, narrow your topic to a field of study, go to the library, and last, begin reading. And by next week, I want to see or hear about these 4 things if you're my student. If you're not my student, show your parent or teacher, check off each of these things this week for them. It will be 10 points for each thing you do. This is a big one, but this is important. So the second major assignment is a revision of your resolution paragraph. So if your parents or teacher gave you some suggestions, you need to fix those and have that. That is due next week, along with the other things for our research paper. Enjoy your day, and I will see you next week.